Somebody is asking to show SQL ka error.
All right, so we are live now. I hope everyone is able to hear us okay. You can just send a message in the live chat saying that our setup is okay, and we'll get started. I'm doing this live stream after a long time, and this live stream is for data analytics career. So we can discuss anything related to Power BI, data analytics, interview, question and answer. Joining with me is my friend Hemanand. You have seen him before on this channel, Sales Insights project, which got very popular. He's a data analyst manager in a company in UK. And he has also helped me with the Power BI course that we recently launched. So we'll spend next 1 hour answering your questions. Please start posting your questions in the live chat. Make sure you don't spam the chat with repeated question. If we see the same question being repeated, we will not be answering those questions. So please respect everyone's time, and let's get started.
That's great. Looking forward.
All right, so they confirm we can hear you. So we'll start with the first question, which is, I have Mac and how to install Power BI on Mac. Ham?
I think there is no direct option like Mac. Power BI software does not run on Mac. You have to use an alternate option like Parallels desktop, or you have to run it on a virtual machine. So Microsoft doesn't have it for Mac yet.
Maybe in the future you will get it, but for now, go with Windows. Bhavika Kapadia is saying, I know Bhavika, I think you have bought the course. She loves our Power BI course. Any plans for SQL course? Yes. The good news is we do have plan for SQL course. I'm going to produce very, very non-traditional SQL course. You'll feel like you're watching a movie when you watch this course, and you will learn the SQL skills in a very, very easy to understand manner. I'm going to produce a course basically, which I can show it to a high school student, and that student will understand SQL very easily. That course is in plan. What I'm thinking is we will build a data analytics bootcamp, and we'll have various courses like SQL, Power BI, Python, and so on. And SQL will be part of that. But yes, SQL course is in the plans, and it will be very, very affordable.
Yes. Yeah. We discussed about a project, right? That we would do a project based on SQL and show it.
Yes. Most of our courses, folks, on corebasics.io are going to be project-based learning. Both me and Hemanand have years and years of real life industry experience. So this is not like someone who is just teaching without any industry experience. And all our teaching, the way when we hire people in our companies, we teach them using very practical approach. So we are going to use the same methodology to teach you all. All right. Priyank Patel is asking to get a job in junior position in data analytics. I learned Python, SQL, Tableau, and started IBM data analytics course, and also start preparing for Microsoft fundamental certificate. What is your thoughts? Okay, I think it's a good idea, but there are many different data analyst career tracks. Some career tracks requires only Power BI or Tableau.
Yes.
Hemanand, you want to share your experience on that?
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, a lot of questions that I've received before and a lot of questions I see on the chat right now, it's about like, there is like sea of information out there, right? There are like many streams. There's SQL, Python, Power BI, Tableau, and all these things. And people are really getting confused. And I don't think it's a problem. I think it's just the abundance of the options that you have. And so think it like this, right? So you want to swim in this sea of data science, in the data analytics sea, and you're just waiting in the show. And there are many boards, right? So there is a board for data analyst with Python skill. There is a board for data analyst with Power BI skill, just the Power BI skill. There is a board for data analyst with just the SQL skill, or there is a board that combines all of that with some business skill like supply chain marketing and all of those things. So earlier, traditionally, it used to be more like people wait on the show, they complete a degree, they want to be the maritime engineer, and they want to get on a particular board. It has changed, folks. It's not the same anymore. You just get on any board that's on the shore first. You just get on a boat. All you have to prove is like, you'll be able to swim. If you just jump off the boat, you'll be able to swim and then get back into the boat again. You can just learn during your time that you're spending in the job. Learning on the job has become very important these days, and it's very much allowed these days. Previously you have to prove the skill exactly to a point to get a job. Right now, you just have to prove that you are insatiably curious and you will be able to learn during the job. And so to answer the question specifically, yes, there is a particular skill that you can, if there is one particular skill you can learn about the data transformation techniques, right? The data transformation techniques are common in all the languages like SQL, Python. Data exploration techniques are common in all the languages, even in Power BI. Just learn about all those things. And the tool is just about, you just know how to drive, and you can use any different vehicle to drive. It's just like that. So focus on the principles, and with the tool, just learn the one where you are near on getting the boat.
Love your boat analogy. The next question is from Rafsan Manaf. Does Power BI course is a complete data analytics course, or is it only on Power BI? So Rafsan, this course that we have launched on codebasics.io is a complete data analytics course. Any beginner having no knowledge in anything can take this course and can become job ready. We don't provide any job guarantee kind of false promises to people, because whether you get a job or not is up to you. But the course definitely makes you job ready. So some people ask, okay, do I have to learn Python, Excel? No, you don't have to know anything. You can just take this course. It will teach you all the necessary data analytics skills, project management skills, some domain understanding, and you'll be ready for the job. We have covered some resume review sessions, some interview tips as well in the entire course. So go check it out, codebasics.io. When you look at the course, open individual chapter, you will see many free videos. So you look at it, you will get a good idea. But yeah, to answer your question, you don't need to have any prerequisite. This is a complete course for data analytics. As Hemanand mentioned, there are many boats that can allow you to swim through the data science sea. And this particular course helps a career track which requires only Power BI knowledge. There are many other career tracks where you have to know SQL, Python, etc. But the specific career track, and I have mentioned this before, that there are many jobs which are available that requires only Power BI knowledge, right? Like Hemanand himself has been working in a big company. He's a manager, actually. He's leading a team of data analysts. And in his team, the way he got his job is just based on Power BI knowledge. So Power BI is just a tool. There are tool skills and core skills, analytical mindset, communication, of course, all those core skills you need. But as far as tool skills is concerned, just Power BI is enough.
Yeah, I want to add a point on that. That's well explained. So in my job, I use Power BI a lot, but that doesn't mean I don't use SQL at all. I use SQL, but just good enough to get some initial exploration, right? And that's something as simple as, you go to Google and just, get your codes and then run it. It won't require a lot of effort. So all you have to do is focus on the problem solving, and anything that you need, Google is your friend. You just go, and it's completely fine these days. It's not like people will judge you based on that. And that has become a separate skill in itself. How to surf internet and get your solution is a separate skill in itself, and it's the most important skill.
Ignur Kaur is asking, I have issues in importing data in SQL. Ignur, are you talking about specific Python course, or you're talking about sales insights playlist? If you're talking about specific Power BI course. So our Power BI course, I have created a new video, and that video will be live in that course in next few days. That will hopefully resolve all the issues. But majority of people are not facing this issue. There are few who have faced this issue because of bad installation. So I will suggest you uninstall MySQL completely from your computer, install a latest version, and that should fix the issue. Otherwise, just wait for a few days. I have a new updated video which you can follow. You can also ask your question in a Discord server that we have. we have a specific channel for the course and someone will try to help you. You need to give the more details, like what error you're facing and so on. Muthu is asking, do we need to know JavaScript for data analyst? Answer is no. Hemanand, you can also pick question. We are getting a pile of questions.
Yeah, I'm just looking into the questions. I'm not sure if I'm following your order. I'm not sure if I'm following the order. I just picked one question. So which is suddenly spotted on my eyes. So how is the Power BI knowledge will help in supply chain management? So that's my favorite topic. I can talk all day about it. And so in supply chain management, if you think about it, right, it's one of the fields where you have a lot of data transactions on a daily basis, because you're sending goods from one place to another, you are storing goods, and you are procuring goods. As the number of data points that it will create for one particular product moving from point A to point B is numerous, right? And you have loads of data now. So how data analytics can help? So in supply chain, the key thing that you need to solve is you need to reach the product to the customer at a given time, at the right place, the right quantity, and with the right documents and everything. So how would you solve this problem, right? It's sometimes it's not possible. The first, in order to solve the problem, you need to measure it. So you can measure all the products, the number of products that you're sending to a customer. You can understand how many products are reaching on time, how many products are reaching as per the quality, how many products are reaching as per the correct place and all the stuff. And you can measure the reliability of your supply chain, right? That's one metric. And the other metric, which is something you can relate to, that you are buying your products from Amazon, correct? And why do you think suddenly Amazon has become more popular than Flipkart in India some 7 years back? Because they reduced the order, the order cycle, the time in which you place the order, the time which you get the product, that cycle time, they reduced it. So earlier, you used to get the products in 3 or 4 days. Amazon bought something like next day delivery. So that's another metric which you can focus and improve and that's, of course, that is done through supply chain, because you have to place your warehouse, you have to place your distribution centers, networks strategically to enable all these things. So the first thing, how data analytics helps is it helps you to measure the key performance indicators of your supply chain, and then it lets you seep in through the processes of supply chain. And then it lets you optimize the processes. When you optimize the processes, your supply chain improves. When your supply chain improves, your business improves. Any business without a good supply chain have never succeeded. You can take examples of all the big companies, especially the companies with consumer goods. They should have the best supply chain, and they have always used data to improve the supply chain. So this is in a nutshell, but we can have a separate discussion on that on another day.
Folks, we are going to produce a lot of videos on data analytics, specifically on our YouTube channel. So there will be pre-recorded videos, there will be live session, we'll be holding a Zoom resume review session, interview session. We are going to do a lot of activities, because so far on my channel, I have covered mainly data science, machine learning, etc. As far as data analytics is concerned, I have covered only Sales Insight, Power BI, and Tableau playlist, but my focus is going to be on data analytics in next 6 months or so. So expect a lot of exciting content coming up on my YouTube channel. Muhammad Bilal is asking how to get remote job as a fresher, as a data analyst. So Muhammad, go to YouTube, search for Code Basics top rated freelancer. I interviewed a freelancer from Pakistan. His name is Kasim Bhatti. He was a fresher. Within 6 months, he became top rated Upwork freelancer. He followed some tips, and we have discussed all the tips in that video. So please, that video got a lot of views. So please watch that video. You will get answers of almost all of your questions. Ashish Gupta, is mathematics required in data analytics? Ham, I'll let you answer this question.
Yes, basic mathematics. I would say focus on two disciplines of mathematics. One is arithmetic. Arithmetic in the sense how to take averages, medians, simple addition, subtraction, division. Of course, that's given, right? And the second thing which is very important is percentages, right? Learn how to calculate the percentages. What is the year-on-year growth? Like if I grow 5% from this value in this year, what will be my growth for the next year? Or if my sales this year is 7,000 and have grown like 2%. What is the sales last year? So all this requires you to create a formula used on the concept of percentages in mathematics and arithmetic knowledge. So arithmetic percentages most important. Of course, you would need some statistics as well, but not in the scale, not in the grand scheme of things. You can learn them ad hoc.
Some people get scared with maths. So folks, don't worry. It's not like you have to be like math genius or something. Just basic knowledge is good enough. And the mantra to become successful nowadays is to become a constant learner. So even if you didn't get good marks in college in math, don't worry. You can learn math concepts very easily nowadays, like as in when required in your job, as you're learning data analyst. Listen, new math concept come up, right? You don't know fundamentals of logarithm scaling, for example, or what is, let's say, like what are basic distributions and so on. You can learn things on fly. So the old biases that you have in your brain, you can just leave aside, start fresh, keep on learning. You don't have to be afraid of math. I can guarantee you that it's not as hard as you think. Yeah. Service is asking, is PBI better than Tableau for HR analytics? Hemanand, what is your thought on that?
I don't think this is a right field to compare. I think you can do HR analytics in both Power BI and Tableau, but if you give me more details, what is the size of the data, how you're fetching the data, where your data is placed. If I have more information, I could answer this question specifically. But like I said, in general, HR analytics is probably done in Excel. That's my understanding. In most companies use Excel. Most HR teams that I know, they use Excel or spreadsheet form. And Power BI offers a great integration with things like that. Tableau, it doesn't mean Tableau does not, but Power BI offers a better integration with Microsoft Suite.
I'm personally a huge fan of Power BI. Let's say when someone asks me Power BI or Tableau, I always say Power BI. And here is my reasoning. Look, maybe I'm biased, but hear me out for a few seconds. Marvel Studio released Doctor Strange Part 1, right? Whom do you expect to release Doctor Strange Part 2? It is Marvel Studios. So it is like that. Excel is a de facto data analytics tool. It was de facto data analytics tool so far. What is Power BI? Power BI is on steroid. It's like Doctor Strange version 2. It's like Excel version 2. Now, if Excel version 2 has to be released, whom do you expect to release that? It's Microsoft. And Microsoft has already released Excel version 2, which is Power BI. It's like no brainer. Power BI is going to rule the data analytics industry because Microsoft understands this. They see the market. They have been pumping so much money. They have been releasing new exciting updates every month. And if the company is already using Microsoft's suite of tools, they don't want to move out of that ecosystem. They will move out of that ecosystem if there is a price benefit. And look at Tableau. Tableau is so freaking expensive. Microsoft is offering huge discount on Power BI. It's so cheap, right? So the market positioning that Microsoft has created is such that it is going to be extremely difficult for any other company, not only Tableau, to beat Power BI. Power BI usage, how many Power BI users are there so far, Hemanand? I think a few million downloads are already there.
6 million or something, and it's only growing, yeah.
Yeah, 6 million people have already downloaded Power BI, they're using it, and the usage is just growing and growing and growing. And recently they released this feature, right, where you can integrate live Power BI dashboard in Tableau, in PowerPoint. So you can integrate Power BI dashboard in PowerPoint. I don't think Microsoft will give this support to Tableau. Do you know if they have the support? Even if I don't think they will give the support because
I think they will, but I think the conditions apply will be something bigger. I understand.
Yeah. If you're Satya Nadella, you definitely want to kill Tableau's market, right? So see, this feature that they released recently is actually a very important feature. It's a killer update because like what people use for presentation, PowerPoint, right? Majority of people still till date use PowerPoint for their presentation. In their presentation, they use static dashboard so far. And the stakeholders want to see live dashboard. And how do you get live dashboard? Well, using the Power BI plugin. So the strategy that Microsoft is using to spread the usage of Power BI is freaking amazing. It's just going to work. Okay, so just a nutshell. If someone comes to me, it's my personal opinion, it's Ham's personal opinion. On any given day, if you are confused between Power BI and Tableau, we always say Power BI.
Great. All right. I thought I'd take two questions I saw, which are quite interesting. Okay, there is one question from John Musugu to ask us to expand on data transformation. So before that, right, I think there is a confusion for people whether the data transformation is done by the data engineer or by the data analyst. The answer is both. If you're thinking about the data transformation at scale, at a huge volume, it is done by the data engineers because they are the best in that, right? We don't want to merge 10 million rows with 20 million rows, all that in Power BI or any other analytics tool. So most of the data transformation is done in data engineering side. And once you take the data, fetch it from that particular data pipeline, to your creating your dashboards and all the stuff, you might still want to expand your tables. When I say expand your tables, you might want to increase the columns or increase the rows, depending upon the problem you need to solve. Let me give you an example. Let's say you want to merge your business sales data and your business forecast data. You want to find the difference between your sales and forecast to understand how much is the error between your sales and forecast. What is your forecast accuracy, right? You need to merge these two tables, either using some data merging options. Like you can, if you think in SQL terms, you can use some joins and merge these tables, or you can create a union and append these tables together. So that is basically data transformation, right? You're kind of expanding the tables, or you're adding some additional columns to your table based on a particular requirement, right? Or you found some minor error, or you found some minor error in the data. You don't want to go to the data engineer and wait until they fix it there. You want to fix it in your thing itself. You can replace the nulls. All this are called data transformation, basically. So you want to add more on that?
Nope. I think you covered it pretty well.
Yeah, there was one more question from, I think, Dora Mani, I'm not sure. I just noticed it here. So they asked so they're is learning Power BI right now and want to expand to data science in the future. Is there a possibility? The possibility is yes. Microsoft has already tackled this scenario. So within Power BI, there are some machine learning models you can create. Based on the data sets that you create from Power BI, you can create some machine learning models on top of that. For example, I did some sentiment analysis based on a survey. So I got a survey data, and the survey data contains at least response from, I think, more than 500,000 people. So you understand the theme, there is some open answer in that, right? So you want to understand the theme of the sentiment of people, right? So it had some pre-developed algorithm there that detects the sentiment. So you could use that, it's like ad hoc auto ML, I would say. They have those features there, but it's not very mature right now. But I see, they're progressing every month. Whenever there is a new Power BI update, I see there is an update to that features.
Parth Khatri is asking Power BI versus Tableau. He's saying Tableau is faster than Power BI. So Parth, let's discuss this. It's an interesting question. In our Power BI course, we dealt with 4 or 5 million records, and our Power BI dashboards are pretty fast. So I don't know where you're getting this impression that Power BI is slow. Most of the times, people don't use the right techniques, and that's why they see the slowness. If you're doing all your data transformation, creating new columns, everything in Power Query itself, then that could be one reason of slowness. And we have covered this in our course. We have covered some optimization techniques. By optimization, I mean reducing the size of the file and also the performance, right? There is a tool called DAX Studio that you can use to do instrumentation on performance metrics. Most of the time, what will happen in organizations is See, Power BI could be slower because you're building a data pipeline. You're doing a lot of transformation in, let's say you're getting data from MySQL or Teradata. Then you are building a complete data pipeline. You're doing a lot of transformation within Power BI. Okay. And let's say your end dashboard is slow. Usually what will happen is data analyst will give this feedback to data engineer who are building the data warehouse. The data engineers will eventually build all this transformation within the data warehouse. So as your data infrastructure becomes more mature in the company, what will happen is the transformation that you were doing in Power BI will be offloaded to data warehouse. So you will anyway get the direct views, right, at some point of time, and the speed will increase. Also, Microsoft is working on improving the speed. So I don't think this concern is a real concern, but Hemanand, I will let you add few points because you have more experience on Power BI than me.
Yeah, I've worked with both Tableau and Power BI, but Tableau not very lately. And Tableau is really fast. Let's say that you have prepared data set, right? Like 10 million rows, just a prepared data set in Power BI, and 10 million rows in Tableau. Tableau is slightly faster. I agree to that. But the kind of data transformations that you can do in Power BI, you cannot do that in Tableau. The integrations that you can do, Tableau is a separate data prep thing, but with Power BI, it's even more integrated. And there is a new feature, a killer feature in Power BI, which not many people are discussing right now. It's a data mart feature. So you can have like an inbuilt data engineering pipeline there, right? And you can kind of democratize that for other users, other business users. So it's like you are creating a basic a pipeline, data pipeline. You have that stored in your Power BI, and you share that with the rest of the users. And features like this are increasingly growing in Power BI. And they make, if you look at the overall picture, I would say Power BI is still faster, right? It's like, let's say compare sprint versus marathon. I think sprint, probably Tableau is faster. I think a few milliseconds doesn't make a huge difference. But if you think about marathon, where you do a lot of merging, combining too many data sets and creating your own data pipeline, I think Power BI wins there for me.
This reminds me of my own experience at Bloomberg. When I introduced Python in my team, there were some Java engineers who were saying, no, Java is faster than Python and Python is slow. Don't use Python, right? So people have this vague understanding that Python is slow, Power BI is slow compared to, but look, it's like so immature that in Python, if Python is slow, why do we use Python for machine learning, right? That was my argument. And there are techniques, there are situations that you have to go through where you're using NumPy and pandas. The underneath code that gets executed is written in C++, in Fortran, right? So see, if you're not using the right feature of a given tool or programming language, and if you then blame, it's like you are blaming that person for a wrong reason because you don't know how to use the right feature. So maybe if you're thinking Power BI is slow, maybe you probably don't know how to use the right technique. All right. And by the way, to complete the story, the team where I worked with, Python became one of the top language in that group. Eventually, those Java engineers got convinced that Python is the right language, right? So it takes some time to convince people. But yeah, I personally believe Power BI is still better compared to Tableau.
Yes. Okay, I have a very interesting question from Shiva Reddy. This is a very interesting question. Any suggestions regarding how to Google to get answers for questions? Very, very important question, Shiva, because a lot of people that I know, so the way they search in Google, it's not really optimized. They simply ask like how to create sales year on year, right? So it's a very vague question for Power BI. Sometimes you need to be very specific. You need to add the term Power BI somewhere, right? So always focus on the particular tool that you're working. So when you use your Google search, always use a particular tool, like say Power BI. And within Power BI, there are multiple options, like multiple ways, multiple things that you're working on. Like if you're working on DAX, in your search, add the term DAX. How to create a sales metrics in Power BI DAX. Like if you're working in a Power Query editor, add like how to create a sales metrics in Power Query editor. And when you're creating a calculated column, add the term calculated column. When you're creating a DAX measure, add a term DAX measure. So be very specific in your Google search. And initially you might not know which terms to use exactly, but how you can develop this skill is like, initially I was having the same problem. So I never stopped my search in page 1. Always went to page 2, page 3. Then I found my result in page 3 or 4. Then I wondered why it doesn't come to page 1. Then I started optimizing my search, and the solution I wanted just came in the page 1 itself. So you just have to, go to different pages to understand that where your solution lies and optimize your search incrementally. And eventually within few months, I think you will know exactly how to search.
And I have posted a nice post on LinkedIn regarding this, like how to ask questions in a right way. Yes. So if you guys want to follow those career tips, me and Hemanand, we both provide a lot of useful tips based on our years and years of industry experience on our LinkedIn. Our LinkedIn profiles are in video description of this live stream. You can go there, you can click on those links and just follow us. I'm reaching my connection limit. So if you don't send me a direct connection request, so you can just follow me and Hemanand. We are providing a lot of useful tips like on Power BI, career guidance, interview, general like Google, asking question on Google or Stack Overflow. So follow those tips. Okay, we are always discussing those. Okay, I have this question from engineer Anupam. He's a Selenium test engineer with 4 years of experience. Can I switch to data science? 100% Anupam, you can switch. For you, I think data analyst could be a good career track. When you say data science, there are multiple career tracks: data analyst, data engineer, data scientist. Out of these 3, data analyst is relatively easy to learn. Those skills are easy to learn. Being a test engineer, you already know some scripting. So if you learn Power BI, I think it's going to be perfect for you. There are a lot of QA engineers who have switched to data science, like data analyst role. They got a job as well. There are so many stories. So 100% you can switch. If you want to start today, go to YouTube, search Code Basics Sales Insights playlist. We have a free playlist, folks. So just follow that. And if you like that playlist, then you can buy our course. Okay, course description, course link I just put in the live chat. Maybe I can add it in the YouTube live stream as well. So I will add our course link here. And meanwhile, you can take the next question, Hemanand.
Yeah. Okay, I saw one question here. Most questions are repeated. Okay, what is the future of SAP in data analytics? Okay. I'm personally very disappointed with SAP because I felt at one point they had huge amounts of enterprise data, because all the enterprises are still using SAP or were using SAP for storing the data. They could have done a lot greater job, but their approach was very conservative and traditional. They created softwares like SAP Vivo, and if I remember it right, there was something like Lumira at the same time when Tableau, Power BI, Sense, and a lot of other tools were getting into the market. And I think they are not in the quadrant right now. They're not in the picture right now. But if they have the right vision, I think they can create wonders. But I think the boat has sailed off now. I'm not sure if they can catch up.
Okay, so next question is Learn with me, Ranga. He's asking, do we need web development for dashboard creating? So Ranga, I have your answer. All right, here is the answer. Okay, next one.
All right, I think.
Okay, Joe Berwal is asking, how much coding is needed for data analyst role? There are many data analyst jobs where you don't need coding at all. But then there are, as Hemanand mentioned, right, there are different, within data analyst role, there are different career tracks. And majority of the career tracks require no coding. There are few other career tracks. Just today morning, I got a message from a senior data analyst working in healthcare company. They use Python and SQL. So there are different career tracks where you need to know Python, SQL, but these other career tracks where just knowing Power BI is going to be sufficient.
Okay, someone has asked like, what is the? Sorry, I skipped the name. They asked like, what is the salary hike percentage for Power BI developers? See, I cannot give a general statement here, but I can say from the friends that are working in various companies in Power BI, as much as I know, they get like really like 50% to 60% hike. Once they start becoming an integral member of the team, and I've seen people getting 200 to 250% hike when they are like a marketing person. When let's say they are marketing analysts and they learn Power BI, they knew how to crunch data. Their hike is crazy. Like they get 2x, 3x more. And let's say you are a warehouse manager and you learn how to crunch numbers on Power BI, you will get a crazy hike. Either in the same company, you get a really good hike, or if you move to another company, you get even better hike. That's what the trend I've been seeing. I would say this field is only growing because the organizations are increasingly moving towards Power BI, and which means there are a lot of job openings in Power BI. And of course, the demand is also high because not many people are trained in Power BI right now. Even when I have to hire, there is always a huge demand to get the right person with the right Power BI skills. It's not high in the market at the moment.
And I'm going to interview a person from HR who became data analyst. So that person was HR person.
Yes.
They become a data analyst in HR domain. Now see, this person gets a big hike because you already have domain knowledge of HR. You learn Power BI and now you become a data analyst. So it's like you have some skills and you're adding some additional skills on top of your domain knowledge, correct?
Yeah.
And people ask me, oh, I did HR for 7 years. Now can I become data analyst? See, it's a wrong question. People think they are starting all over again. No, you are actually in a better position because the domain knowledge is very, very important for data analyst role. So you have all this domain knowledge. You're just learning an additional skill and moving into this amazing data science industry.
Yeah, I think I have two commonly asked questions and two areas which I would like to cover on this part you said, right? So a lot of people think that, oh, should I learn Power BI for this? No, you don't have to learn Power BI for this. You can learn anything that is required to solve your problem. So you are an HR. Let's say you have huge amounts of data. You need to somehow query the data and understand, get it into a simple table format. Use SQL, learn SQL. I think that's the mother of all the data transformation languages, right? If you learn SQL, you can learn that concept you can transform that concept in Power BI, or you learn Power BI and you can transform that to SQL, or you can transform that to pandas in Python. They are very similar in terms of the conceptual understanding of data, right? And don't just stick on to one tool. Or should I learn this tool? Just try to understand the problem that you have first in your company, right? And then I'm talking specifically for the people who are trying for a career transition. And so try to focus on the problem and how, just Google, right? How you can solve this problem. How we can, filter 1 million rows for this particular, let's say that you are HR and you are thinking about to find the number of people who left the company. You must have some Excel data. Just try to understand how you can combine these Excel files together. You can do that in Power BI. You can do that in Python. There are many ways to do it. Just search and find, just do anyway, even if it's not the best way, just try to do it. And you will optimize it yourself, as and when you learn more and more. Because once you start doing something, like it's like getting into the sea. Now you jumped into the sea, you're learning swimming, and there is always a lifeboat, which is the Google. You can always go there and you can try to understand. And the second question is like a lot of people ask, oh, I'm 35, I'm 40. Is it possible for me to transition now to the data analytics field? Absolutely yes, 100% yes. Because think about, you are 40, you have a lot of experience, you have a lot of organizational experience, right? That is timeless. Even if you think after 10 years, you will see this people skill will never die out. The way you deal with people, the way you communicate with people with this 10 years of experience is valuable, that you can still use. And you must have some domain knowledge. I can't think of a domain where there is no data. Even if you think about a temple, I think a lot of temples recently, we discussed the other day, like they are wanting a data analytics software to understand how much food they need to prepare.
Remember when you were in India, we discussed. So in Atlic, my company, we are getting a temple project where they want to use data analytics.
Yeah. So temple and people who are doing the fitness centers, they want to understand the pricing, what pricing is optimized pricing. any field you're taking now, they are using data to make better business decisions, to make competitive business decisions. So do not think about the domain you are. Some domain are more relevant, some domain are less relevant, but it's always relevant, right? It's moving towards a direction. Somebody asked me the day on LinkedIn, I'm from the agriculture field. Would that impede my job prospectus in data analytics? Definitely not. Of course, agriculture, like there is a lot of option, lot of scope for agricultural analytics where you can tell how much crop will yield, what is the percentage of the yield, and when is the right time to add the manure, when is the right time to add the pesticide, just by looking at the size of the crop. So that's analytics for you. So yeah, still, so I think you need, age is not a bar. It can become an advantage.
Can I use a different analogy? All right. So when someone asks me, okay, for 35 years, I have done mechanical engineering, HR, can I switch to data analyst? I use this terminology of, okay, you have played cricket until 35. At 36, someone asks you to play baseball. Will you be able to play? Of course, you'll be able to, because baseball is very similar to cricket, right? You know how to hold a bat. You have this hand-eye coordination when ball comes, how to hit it. You know how to swing. You know how to run. So all those raw skills are already there. You're just using a little different tool, just tweaking it a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
And data analytics is not a separate field. People are saying, I was in mechanical engineering. Can I switch or can I transition to data analyst? I think sometimes I feel that transition term is wrong. It's like you are in mechanical domain. Data analysis is one of the tools, how you use boiler and things like that. Power BI is also one of the tools that you can use to. So data analytics and data science is a tool that you can use in any domain. Okay.
Yeah.
So strategically, if you have spent few years in some domain, think about becoming data analyst in that domain itself.
Okay. I don't want to mention the name, but someone is asking me, where can I get the data sales insight? Where can I get sales data set for project, right? So if the same person has just dropped that same text in YouTube, they would have got the answer. We have the sales insights project right there. I don't know why people are not trying that. Just go out, express yourself to Google. It will give you the answer.
You need to help yourself before you ask question, because when you go in company and if you ask very, very basic question, you're not leaving a good impression. Yeah. For some things, some people ask me, okay, where is your Python playlist? I'm like, go to YouTube, type code basics, Python playlist. You will get an answer. Why you are even asking that question? If you don't build these basic skills on how to search in Google, how to search in YouTube, you will have a lot of problems in the future. Okay.
Yeah. And one more point I would like to touch. I thought we discussed a little bit, but someone also asked me. It came as an inquiry a few days back. So if I transition at this stage of my career, like when I'm 35, would I have to report to someone younger than me? It seemed like a concern for the person, but I think that should not be a concern. I think everybody should drop their ego. Please understand, knowledge is the only edge, right? Age is not a factor. If you're reporting to someone who has a better knowledge than you, why not? I would be happy to reporting to someone who's 20 and who can teach me something. That should never be a problem. And the people who have reporting lines who are older than them, they can also learn from them. Like I think the teams are moving towards more than a strategic partnership than like a manager reporting thing. I think that should change. Definitely that should change.
Yep. Teja Arun has this question that he's following Code Basics channel from last 2 years. He recently subscribed to Power BI course. I'm having struggle in getting my job. So Teja, I would say first, you just recently subscribed to Power BI course. So let's first finish that course. When you finish that course, you will get an option to register for in-person Zoom session with me and Hemanand. Okay. So it will be a group session. We are going to conduct this group Zoom sessions with people who have subscribed to our Power BI course. In that session, we will guide you further on how to approach job. We'll also be doing some resume review sessions, some mock interviews. So maybe we can help you with a mock interview. That way, you can prepare yourself better for the data analyst career. And see, sometimes you have to have a patience. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen magically. So you have to follow the right approach. So you need to build a solid project portfolio. You need to have a very good, effective resume. We have a resume session in our Power BI course. So please watch that. And we have provided you some templates of resumes. So make sure, Deja, you are using those templates and building your resume and following the tips that we gave in the course, as well as register for those Zoom sessions which are coming up after you finish the course.
Yeah. And Trari Hamsa is asking, can you please talk a little bit about soft skills in data science field? I think this is my favorite topic. I think this is the differentiator. Soft skills are the differentiator, because there are 1,000 Power BI developers, there are 1,000 people who can do data analysis, and your soft skill can really be a differentiator. And when I talk about soft skills, focus on the timeless skills. Timeless skills are those, how you're able to communicate effectively to people. Your ideas, how you're able to communicate effectively. It could be in your verbal, it could be in types of text, or it could be in presentation. Effective communication is very important. And when you are in the data technical field, you should understand that you have two different modes of communication. One is to technical people, right? When you talk to data engineers, IT folks, you use all these jargons, you enjoy using those jargons, have fun. When you speak to non-technical people, please have this user empathy, right? They don't know the same stuff that you do. So you talk to them in a way they understand, and you will get rewarded really well for that. Because because at the end of the day, you are developing something for them. They are going to use it. Please make sure they understand what you speak. Always take a step back, rehearse that in your mind if you're doing it for the first time, whether that's going to be understandable for everyone in the room, and have that user empathy. That's what I call as effective communication. And the second soft skill, which is very important, is stakeholder expectation management, right? It could be true that you are a great technical person, you have a great knowledge, you are great at heart, you have a great intention, all of that. But time to time, always make sure that the stakeholder that you're working with, his or her expectation is managed, right? How can you do that, right? Just take their requirement first and don't vanish and then come with some product and say, hey, see, I've developed this product. Release the products incrementally. Follow some agile methodology where you release a version 1, you check with them, you make sure they're happy, and then go to version 2, and then go to version 3. And for that, you first have to understand who are the stakeholders of the project, right? And stakeholders are of different types. You need to understand how you manage each of the expectations. So these two are the prime soft skills, I would say, that you need
I'm sharing our screen from our course where we have a session on how to do stakeholder management in an effective way, where we draw this quadrant, and you need to do something called a stakeholder mapping. And by doing that mapping, you kind of understand their personality, and you adjust your communication accordingly. So this is a very subtle and very, very timeless skill. Once you build it, doesn't matter if you are in data analyst profession or any other profession, you will fly like a rocket. And we have tried to bring some humor in this as well. And I think this is a free video, right, Hemanand?
I think it should be, yes. Yes,
yeah.
This is free.
So folks, go to our codebasics.io, and sorry for the shameless marketing for my course, but the reality is that whatever questions you are answering, I have been getting the same questions over the last 4 years of doing YouTube, 5 years, 6 years, right? And we have tried to cover all those questions in our course. So we have used some fun, like Thor Hathodawala, for example. He's our global director of supply chain. And how you try to identify different people's personality, okay? And then eventually, how you map those personality on this quadrant. And then when you go to the stakeholder meeting, you can adjust your communication accordingly.
Yeah, that's I think that's very relevant. Great. So I mean, apart from these two soft skills, do you think of anything else? I think these are the prime ones, I would say.
Yeah, the business understanding is something you need to focus on. So you need to have a lot of curiosity, right? Let's say you are in retail segment. Let's say you are working in Expedia, for example, or in India, it's OYO rooms, right? Let's say you get a job there. You need to have that end user curiosity, correct? When you're talking with your friends, try to figure out their business model, how their portal is working, what kind of data analytics they might be using. Talk to business managers who are experts in that domain, and go on networking session, go out for a coffee break, try to explore that. So don't just focus on tool skills. Some people become like so much obsessed with tools, they forget the other important aspects. So building business understanding by having a lot of curiosity and asking a lot of questions is another important one.
Yeah.
Raghavendra Kalli is asking this question. Ham, this is for you. I'm expected to, do I have to know MSBI tool for data analyst position?
What is it?
MSBI is like Microsoft Business Intelligence, some tool, is a suite which comprises of tools. I don't know. I never even heard about this.
No, MSBI, I think what he says is like MSBI could be Power BI, because there is nothing like MSBI. If there is something, probably it's too old. That's why I didn't know this. And one expansion, right? There is another question which someone asked, like, so I'm learning as I'm a Power BI developer. How can my career grow, well in the future? So Microsoft has a suite of tools. It's not just Power BI. They have something called Power Apps, right? Where you can create an app, like you can use it in your phone. Guys, I'm from a mechanical engineering background with zero coding knowledge. I'm able to create an app which is used by a lot of people. Like more than 100, 200 people are using that app in my company, because it's low code programming. I just pick and drop the buttons. I just understand the logic, and I use Google. I use, I use a lot of YouTube tutorials. I just go and find the videos from great people, and I learn. So there is Power Apps, Power BI, and there is Power Automate, and there is a Power Agent, and recently they have added something like Power Pages. Take your time, Google about all of this. So this is called Power Platform, Microsoft Power Platform, and there is a huge scope for this in the future, because they are integrating all the different aspects of business together and putting it in one particular suite. So, it enables self-service analytics. When I mean self-service analytics, gone are those days where you are dependent on a particular team to create all the analytics for you. So people from particular function, they take the weapon in their own hand and they start doing analytics. That's self-service analytics. I'm one of them. I'm from the domain. I'm from a supply chain domain. I started doing analytics on my own. And there are a lot of people like me in the company who do a great job, and they are from the domain and they started learning analytics and they do the stuff on their own. So Microsoft is heavily promoting the self-service analytics, and it reduces the dependency on the central IT, and it enables the pocket teams, in each company to do their own analytics, and it's only growing.
Mr. Jazz is asking, what is the duration of the course? So I have once again posted a link of our course. All the information, folks, that you need for the course is there on the course page. So I just posted a link in the live chat. It is close to 14. Let's see what is the duration? Okay. I don't have the exact number. Close to like 16 hours. So that includes a lot of exercises, one final quiz, intermediate quizzes, and so on. So total, Hemanand, like 16 to 20 hours of learning total, right?
Oh yeah, 16 hours of lecture. So if you spend, like, let's say you spend 2 hours a day, you would complete it in 2 weeks. Provided that you practice all the exercises, and our aim is like you take at least 2 weeks of time. That's our, see the timing. I got an interesting comment. I think that's my mom saying hi to me. Hi, mom.
Oh, your mom is there.
Yeah.
Hello, mama. I'm also saying hi to her. What is her name?
It's Kalimati Vadivel.
Kalimati, okay. So Solini is asking, Power BI can support Python backend. Your question is very vague, by the way. When you say, can Power BI support Python backend, I did not understand. See, Python backend is there. Like data engineers are probably using Python backend to build data warehouse.
I think I understand the question, right? I think see, you can use the Python coding in Power BI. There is an option. You can run Python codes in Power BI, and I tried it. I wasn't very happy with it because it felt like I'm using a heavy tool for something very small. It didn't look very relevant to me, but there are some iteration programs that I run using Python, which helped me. I think the space is evolving. Yeah, you can also create R visuals using Power BI. There are some custom visuals, like you can use R visuals in Power BI. So they have some Python and R integration in Power BI. It is there. It is still there.
Okay. The Llama guy is asking, is there a scope of Go language in data analyst? You know what is my answer? I don't know why you need to think about Golang and Kotlin and all of those fancy languages. Most of the data analysts you can do even without coding.
Yeah. And I think there is one common question with a lot of people ask, right? The common thing is like, how can I transition from data analytics to data science, right? See, data analytics and data science, they kind of integrated together. Analytics is about how you crunch the numbers and answer business questions, in a nutshell. And data science does the same, but in data science, you do more exploration, right? You don't even know the question, what is the right question? And you kind of just detect the patterns and stuff like that in data science. One simple thing I can say is data analytics is mostly I would say is descriptive analytics. When I say descriptive analytics, it means it describes what happens in the past, what happened in the past. So you take loads of past data, you crunch the numbers, and you say to the business, okay, this is what happened. And data science is a bit of machine learning oriented, where you use predictive analytics, where you predict what's going to happen in the future. So if you try to fill the bridge between the descriptive analytics and predictive analytics, you can reach from data analytics to data science. That's my suggestion.
Yep, I agree. Parthiv is asking when Python course is going to be live. So Parthiv, before 30th June, I'm trying my best. And let me share a screen. See, before this live, I was actually working on the course. So see, I have my computer recording. Let me show you. So I'm using this nice healthcare industry use case where, this course is, by the way, it's not like any other course on internet where they just teach you if for condition and so on. We are going to build end-to-end project in healthcare domain. It requires a lot of work to build such a course. So I'm in a final stage. Most of the videos are recorded. I need to record probably 4 more videos. So this week I will complete recording it and then testing everything. I'm trying my best to release it on 20th June, 20th June, or it's either 17th June, 24th June, or 30th June. I'm trying my best, but yeah, 30th June is like definitely it will come before that. Girish Vyas, can you suggest some topic for project on data analyst? This is a very good question. So on our YouTube channel, we have already done some free projects. One for personal finance dashboard, one for sales insights. Our Power BI course has a detailed version of sales insight project. And we have given some ideas on how to build different flavors of that project. So you can use all those suggestions to come up with your own projects.
Yes.
Darshan is asking, hello team, is this course enough to get into data analytics, as I have moved to session 3 by now, as I am very much concerned about coding part in the near future. We covered Darshan. Darshan, do not worry about coding, my friend. I'm telling you, do not. Hemanand has been doing, he's a data analytics manager. He is managing a team of data analysts in a big company in UK, and he himself doesn't do coding. And so don't worry.
Okay. Just looking for different themes. Okay, I'm an SEO. Abhinav is asking, I'm an SEO analyst. Can I shift to data analyst? Yes, you can. If yes, please tell me how. See, you still, because SEO is a place where what are you analyzing in your SEO, right? If I understand it, if my understanding is correct, you're optimizing the page search and trying to bring it up to the ranks. I think that's what SEO people do, right? search engine optimization. And there are a lot of numbers in it. There are a lot of different ways in which you can increase the rank of your particular website or something like that. So that's analytics. You're already doing analytics, and you can expand a little bit more on that. And maybe you can kind of, like, if you're thinking about the performance of your SEO, you can get a data for all the performance that you did with your past SEO and the results. So performance versus impact analysis you can do, and try to understand which SEO decision that you have made brought you the most return on investment. You can find the ROI for your SEO. That could be one of the projects. And you can tell your manager, let's do this more because this created more money for us. Maybe that's an area where you can start.
So Hemanand, can we do this? Maybe going forward, I think we may mention this topic. If we will post some videos on, okay, if you're in SEO, how do you transition to data analyst, right? Yes. So we'll try to build some dashboards related to SEO analytics. Then if you're HR, how do you transition to data analyst? So we'll do maybe live project for HR. Okay, folks, so subscribe to my channel, turn on that notification icon. That way, if you're uploading more videos, you get an idea. As I said, me and Hemanand, we are committed on uploading very, very powerful content that can help you build a data analyst career. Okay, so we're going to build some live projects actually from covering different domains. Okay, let me take up this next question. Jigar DP is asking, he has a lot of confusion on how to transition into AI career. He's an application developer. How can I move to AI? See, Jigar, I think your question is very, very interesting because many people are having this question and there is a lot of abundance of information, so many options on the internet. So it's very easy to get confused. For that reason, on my YouTube channel, I'm just sharing my screen. If you go and search code basics software engineer to data scientist, okay, you will find all these videos. See, how do I transition from software development to data science? I have made a dedicated video on that because it is not the first time I'm receiving this question. Folks, many questions that you are receiving, I have received same question before and I have already made detailed videos on that. So go to YouTube, type code basics followed by your question. Let's say you are in testing, you want to switch to data science. See, I have a video. How do I transition from software testing to data science? And this covers maybe data analyst role as well. So see how to switch from data science from non-computer science background, correct? So all these questions are already answered. So if you use YouTube wisely and search things, you will get the answers.
Yeah, so there is one specific question addressing me from Ashish Goel. So he's asking, as you manage a team of data analysts, do you guys take help of Power BI documentations for DAX formulas and M language query on daily basis? The answer is not on daily basis, but we still do take it regularly. See, if you do DAX and M language, there are, I think, 8 or 10 concepts which you mostly reuse in all your creations, all your developments. So once you have done it for over 6 months of time, you will try to reuse them. But over time, what happens is like the business requirements change, the market dynamics change. So you might have to invent something new. And and at that time, we definitely go to, go and search for solutions. We might brainstorm. There might be a problem which somebody has already solved online. We take that solution and implement it. That definitely happens. In all my, in all my vicinity, that happens. So don't worry, you don't have to be like, it's not like, it's go to your exam, you close your book and you do the exam. It's not like that. It's an open book exam. The book is open. You can find your answers there. And this is very common that you take help on a regular basis. Yeah. All right. I think we already spent more than 1 hour, so we need to end this session now. Folks, we will be doing more of such sessions in the future. So if you didn't get a chance to, answer your question, if we couldn't answer your question, I'm really sorry. We will cover your question in the future videos. The general tip we give is that join this session early, because in the early stage, if you join it on time, there is less rush.
and we go step by step. So you will get an opportunity to get your question answered. Okay.
Yeah.
And another tip I want to give you is, if you're subscribed to my channel, if you turn on the notification icon, whenever these kind of live events are scheduled, you will immediately know. Okay. And you can make good use of this. So we will be scheduling live events very frequently going forward in the future. And we hope that we can help you with your question as much as we can.
Yeah. So thank you for that, and it was a great opportunity and nice fun having this chat. So one last thing I would like to address is, like, I've seen some comments saying that they are not able to get a job. They have been trying hard. So for those folks, please feel free to ask your specific questions, and you can send your resume along with your specific questions to my LinkedIn inbox. I have this commitment. I do like around 10, kind of resume review, and I answer via voice message on my LinkedIn. I will do it only when I get time during the weekends. So you can send that. I'll try to help as much as I can.
And I mentioned this before as well, that me and Hemanand will be doing like a free resume review session, free Zoom group session. Okay. So Zoom has a limit of 100 people. We might buy like maybe 1,000.
Yeah, I think 1,000. Yeah.
1,000 user license. And we will be scheduling this closed Zoom sessions as well. And if you want to take a benefit of it, I think you can subscribe to the channel. You might feel like, okay, this guy is asking to subscribe to the channel, but look, see, this is a reality, right? If we schedule a session, we'll go by first come, first serve basis. And if you want to get notified about upcoming session, subscribing to the channel and clicking on notification icon is the only way you can get connected with us. Okay. So if you feel that our videos or sessions are helping you, subscribe to the channel, hit notification icon so that you can get notified about our upcoming session. So far, I was at Bloomberg. I was doing my job. I have left my job. I'm with Atlic, my own company, and I'm spending a lot of time on YouTube and these kind of sessions. Okay. So I'm committed to this EdTech venture that, I'm spending most of my time into nowadays. So you should expect more live Q&A, more resume review session. I can do mock interviews as well. I was not able to do mock interviews so far because I was with Bloomberg and they did not allow me to do mock interviews publicly because I was part of their recruitment panel. I still do a lot of interviews with my own companies. We hire data analysts in my own company, and I have years of interview experience. So we'll be doing some mock interviews in the future as well. I wish you all the best. Check video description once again. We have our LinkedIn profile. If you follow us on our LinkedIn, we regularly share a lot of useful tips. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.